So today we're going to solve one-step addition and subtraction equations. There's a big key to that, and the whole thing is you are going to use the opposite operation to undo the addition or subtraction. Okay? So it sounds really fancy schmancy. All it means is if it says plus, you're going to subtract. If it says subtract, you're going to add. So let's look at a couple of examples. So for this first one, we've got over here, this is the side we're looking at. It's got the variable on it. And remember, sides are the left side and the right side of the equal sign. So on the left side of the equal sign, we've got this minus 7. So to undo a minus 7, we're going to add 7. Now this is like a balance. If I do something to the left side, I have to do it to the right side. So I'm going to add 7 over here also. This is my favorite part because you get to make the noise. Negative 7 plus 7, those cancel out. That equals 0. So what you have left is just this x. So you bring down x, bring down the equal sign, and then you actually do this arithmetic. You can use your calculator, or you can know that negative 15 plus 7 is negative 8. You are done. If you want to check this, you can go back into this original equation, take this x right here, and replace it with that negative 8. So you would have negative 8 minus 7, and negative 8 minus 7 does equal 15. We wanted to know if it did. It does equal negative 15, so it checks. This is kind of something that I tend to do in my head instead of actually doing it on paper, but it's a good practice to do. So looking at the second one, over here on the left-hand side is where I've got my variable and my plus sign. To get rid of a plus 3, we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. When you do that, positive 3 and negative 3 cancel. Leaves me with x. Bring down that equal sign, and 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay, 2 more problems here. First of all, on this one, I don't like a minus negative. Okay, minuses and negatives are pretty interchangeable. A minus means subtract, a negative means you're going to the opposite of the original number. And we do kind of interchange them in our writing, but the minus is a different key on the calculator than the negative. So whenever I have a minus negative, I'm going to change that to n plus 6. We do this by the ever famous slash it and dash it. Slash that minus into a plus, slash that negative 6 into its opposite. When you do that, you have n plus 6 equals 4. Well, let's just do a different color there. Then I'm looking over here at the side that has the plus sign. I want to get rid of that plus 6. To do that, I'm going to subtract 6. I have to do it to both sides to keep it equal, keep it balanced. Positive 6 and negative 6 cancel. So I have n equals, and then 4 minus 6 is negative 2. If I wanted to check that, it would be n minus, and then, well, that's not what it would be. I would put negative 2 in there, minus negative 6, and that becomes negative 2 plus 6, which does equal 4. So over here, what my little eyes are seeing, there's my little eyeballs looking right there. They see a minus and negative. We're going to slash it and dash it and slash it and dash it all the time. No more minuses anymore. Okay, there's a whole song to that, but you get the gist. This side is the side that has the plus sign and the variable. I need to do this a little bit different than I did that one because the p comes second. But I've got a positive 4 here. Now, we don't ever put a little plus sign there because that sounds silly. If I say, how old are you? You're not going to say, I'm positive 12. You would just say you're 12. So you have really a positive 4 in disguise. So when you're using the opposite, you're going to subtract 4 or use a negative 4. A positive 4 and a negative 4 cancel, leaves you with p, and p is equal to negative 2. Then we get fancy schmancy. We've got a fraction, and fractions tend to scare us. But just remember, you're doing the same process. Over here is where you've got your plus sign, you've got your variable, and you want to get rid of a plus 4/5, so you're going to subtract 4/5. So you can cancel positive 4/5, negative 4/5, and what you have left is y. Now over here, 2/3 minus 4/5. I'm going to show you a weird little method called the TP method. What the TP method is if I don't have a calculator and I have to actually do this without one, I can use this TP method. Now, the nice thing about the TP method is later on when we get to polynomials and you've got variables, you can't use a calculator. So let's look at this method now. It's called a TP method because it sort of makes a TP. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 2 times 5. So 2 times 5, and that gives you 10. Then you're going to multiply this way. Now this one you got to be careful. That's 3 times negative 4. And 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. So we put minus 12. Remember I told you they're kind of interchangeable? Then you multiply straight across and you have 3 times 5. So that's going to all be over 15. Sorry. Then you're going to take 10 minus 12, which is negative 2, and keep the 15 the same. So your answer here is negative 2/15. So I don't really see a TP there unless you have a really small person sitting inside there, but that's because I'm a lousy artist. Had I done this properly, it would have made a beautiful TP. We're going to talk more about that method as we get into polynomials, but for now, your other option, I'm so sorry, is you can put 2, use your ABC key, 3, and then use your minus key, 4, ABC 5, and then hit equals, and it's going to give you negative 2/15. Then we got to throw another hitch in your get along over here. On this one, the plus sign is on the right-hand side. Freaks some people out. I'm going to show you an option if you don't like that, but you're doing the same method. So if I could, I would take my hand right here and cover this up so you can't even see it. So all I'm looking at is that negative 9 plus r, and I need to get rid of a negative 9. So I'm going to add 9, and I have to do it to both sides. So now I pick up my hand, and I've got 5 plus 9, that's going to be 14. Bring down the equal sign. The negative 9 and the positive 9 cancel, and all I have left is r. Now, if you don't like that, you can start with this and you can say, ooh, icky yuck yuck, I don't like that 5 on that side. Put your equals 5 and just cross this out. Then you're back to what looks normal for those of us that like our variable on the left. So we're going to look at, I think, 2 more of these. Over here, the variables on the right-hand side, don't freak out by that. I've got a minus 3/4. So I'm going to add 3/4 to both sides of the equal sign. Negative 3/4 and positive 3/4 cancels. Down here, I'm going to TP it. I'm going to take negative 2/3 plus 3/4. I'm going to multiply up. That gives me negative 8. I'm going to multiply up. 3 times positive 3 is a positive 9. And I'm going to multiply straight across. 3 times 4 is 12. So over here, I have 1/12. And over here, I have the k. On the second one, variables on the right-hand side, again, pretend you can't even see that. You've got a minus 9 over here, so you are going to add 9 to both sides. Now, when I do that, that's kind of freaky because these cancel, leave me with my m. Over here, these also cancel, but I have to have something on that side of the equal sign, so I'm going to put 0. And that is the end of addition and subtraction one-step equations. This was a really short video because this is my first test video to see if it will actually upload into my YouTube channel. Here's hoping for positive, happy things. Have a good day.